Hey, Henry. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and pull you into the Hangout. As usual, if you get disconnected, just come back into the webinar. See if anybody else shows up. Unlock this option. Crazy. Hey.
All right.
That was painless.
I wonder what was different from the last time we tried it.
It's always a little different of an experience. Okay, so Desert Mission. Let me bring that up.
Am I the only one again?
Last week we had 3 people.
Well, good.
As the week
I wasn't here.
I know you're planning it right. You're coming when there's nobody here. There was at least one other person that was interested, I think. So see if they show up or not. But in the meantime, I can get started with you.
Okay. The parallax feature on the sliders works fine on my iMac. However, on my iPad, it doesn't. And that it doesn't, scroll up and leave the picture there.
Okay.
That may be just the way it's designed. I don't know. It doesn't bother me a lot, but I just wanted to mention it.
Okay. The slider module actually has some issues right now too. So it'd be, even if I could duplicate your problem, Divi is in the process of fixing some things with it. I contacted them about a different issue last week, and they basically said there are a couple things that are in their support pipeline for making changes to it. So it might just be, they're pretty responsive, so I don't think it'll take them too long to fix it, but it might be related to that too. So,
all right, there's one other item to keep your eye on when they, whoops, lost you.
I just shared my screen with you.
Oh, okay. I was trying to get to be able to click on the slider and have it go to a URL.
Okay.
And I have one of those working by putting the URL in the button slot, but not having a button. But when I try to do that on the news and events, it doesn't work the same way. And so that is something I hope they can fix.
This one here?
Yes. If you go to, actually, I haven't even tried that particular point.
Oh, you're just linking these. You're talking about on the page itself?
Yes.
All right, let me get out of this thing. Now there it is.
Now, if you click on the big picture, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I'd like for that to take us to the same place that if you click on the little logo, it will take you there, but this one won't.
Okay. So I think the easiest, oh, that's interesting. So if you, let me just, I think it's designed that either the text or the button will do it on a slider. Now there's another way you can do this, so I'm not too worried about it. You can just use an image module. So let me show you what that would look like. It's weird how your header styles are going into your 608. Okay, so this is the big one. And it's going to look nicer too, I think. You can customize this, but I'm just putting an image module in. So I have an image module there, and let me grab the link from. Let me grab the link from this module. Is this correct, this link? That doesn't look, oh yeah, okay, that is probably your link.
Yeah, that's right.
And then so when you do an image module, there is actually a link URL for that. But when you do it on an image module, it links the entire image instead of just pieces of the image. And so we can.
But then that page is going to look different than the others.
Yeah. I can fix that. Let me see. It's the border that's different, right? There's a little border.
Well, it's the fact that the parallax doesn't.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, that's on this particular page, it doesn't make any difference because there's not much text there to scroll, but well, there's the contact stuff at the bottom. I guess that's what I was thinking about.
I don't know why you'd want to use parallax with a logo, but I think you do actually have that option. Nope, I lied. Only on background images. But I did put the border on it, so that does kind of look similar to your.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. Well, let's leave it that way then, and then. So now, if we click on that, it'll take us to that.
This is doing something that I don't like too. I might fix this. Yeah, this should work. We'll test it out. It does.
Right.
I wonder, do you want it to open in a new tab instead of staying on the same tab and taking them off the site? You have a feeling?
Maybe so. I haven't even played around with that.
Looks like nobody near has joined the call yet. Okay. So yeah, so often when you do a link, URL opens, and etiquette is if it's going to a new site, you do it in a new tab because people hate being pulled off the site they're on.
Okay.
Although there are reasons to break that rule. I just took off the full width option on that row because look at this nice strong grid you have going on. It'd be a shame to break that. And you're the city logo, that logo is getting cut off too. Let's see what's going on in here. All right, I think. And is this image linked? You smart and got that done. Good job. gonna copy the link again. I don't. So one of the things that it's hard for it that when I teach web design, I teach is that you always want to have strong grids because they give order to the page and they make it easier to consume. And so I'm gonna give you an example of how that would work on this page.
Okay.
So I moved your text to that side, and I'll just put another image module. Find that good version, because you kind of have two different versions of the city logo going on, and one of the files is better than the other.
I think this is probably the better one because the other one I've stretched. I was trying to get the 1080 by 608 on the other one and it distorted it.
Yeah, because you stretched it one way, but not the other way, not in the same aspect ratio.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's see. So this is a little cleaner look for the same.
Right. So you've got two modules there now, is that right?
Yeah, I just added an image module there. Now there's another thing. So when you use images like this, it has a lot of white space around it. That's actually throwing off the alignment a little bit.
Right.
And we can use the same trick that we used above. By giving this a border, we'll basically give it some lines to help it.
So how are you doing the border?
So on the, I should explain things to you as I'm doing this, or this kind of whole session is useless, isn't it? Okay. So on the design tab,
yeah,
is usually where the use custom border stuff is.
Okay.
And then you get to select the color. Let's see if I can match this gray roughly. And by default, it's 1 pixel. There are other options. But now what we've done is see that nice strong line that goes all the way across.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what you want.
I'd like your critique on something.
Sure.
I had a person who had given me input that we needed to change our website. So I sent her, the link to this and asked her to go through it and just point out things that jumped out at her. And one of her comments was that the text in the body was too small. And
okay.
I always felt it was light. So I went in to the customizing location and I increased the font size and I changed from gray to just pure black.
Yeah.
Does it look okay to you, having worked with a lot of these?
I think it's fine.
Okay. It's a personal preference thing, isn't it?
Well, there are some considerations. So some people have vision impairment problems, and some people's eyes are sensitive to glare, and they need two different solutions that conflict with each other.
Okay.
So part of it is knowing your audience. So if you have a lot of people wearing bifocals, for instance, then you're probably not going to be as concerned about the glare. If you have a lot of people that stare at a screen all day, they're probably concerned about the glare. That's why designers like to use that gray color instead of black. They try to reduce the contrast a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to make it too big because people that actually do have sight impairment have options that their web browser gives them.
Right.
And so if you make yours too big, then when I do Control Plus, then it's really big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you have a pretty decent line height. You probably don't need quite that much, but that's nice too. Sometimes line height actually makes things more readable than the other two things that you did. So you actually did 3 things, because I don't think this is the standard line height.
Well, I think it's 1.7. I don't think I changed that. Unless I
Yeah.
changed it, playing with it and didn't get it back.
I don't know I'm not really sure what the default is for Aboundant right off the top of my head. I think that it would be around 1.3, but at some point in time, we might have changed it to 1.7. Or it might be 1.7, who knows? It seems a little high to me, but I think it's fine. I
Okay.
run a lot of sites at 14. My kind of defaults are 14 pixel size with like 1.3, 1.4 spacing in a really dark gray. That's kind of my default
Okay.
when I make a site.
Yeah, I think I went to 16 font size.
Okay.
We've got, well, I start to say we have older people in our congregation, but the reality is we're doing the website not for our congregation, but
Yeah.
for people we're trying to reach.
You've just corrected something that I preach a lot. I'm surprised I didn't say that. So right. So your site, I always tell people their site is 3 parts for outsiders and 2 parts for insiders.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have to
So we've got
choose,
insiders reviewing it.
yeah, right. So when I actually go into churches and help them get ready for their website, I do an exercise with them where we do user stories, where we try to imagine the people that will be coming to the website and putting ourselves in their shoes before we make any decisions about the site, which is useful for any ministry where you want to reach out to people. But yeah, that usually gets them out of there. This is what I like about a website. Well, what they like about a website is not necessarily important to the ministry that you're doing with the website.
Well, I feel like we need to improve our homepage, and I've got somebody working on some text for that, and I probably need to change the picture, but I don't know what your impression is. I remember you telling me the picture is not good quality resolution.
So it actually is kind of high resolution, but it's been compacted really small. And how I can tell that is see these kind of lines around the cross.
Yes.
That's because the file size has been scrunched down so much that even though your resolution is still kind of big, it's lost a lot of detail along the way.
I think
you shouldn't see that.
Just trying to get it to fit on there and look right.
And I think you should. I don't think you should go with this banded look on the home page. It's better on your individual pages, but I think if you choose an image for up here, it should take up the whole screen.
Meaning not a slider?
Well, it could still be a slider, but there are ways to do, you could do a full width slider instead of a standard section slider.
Oh, I see what just make the picture wider you're talking about.
Yeah. And let me show you. I will actually show you. Let me check. Let me see if anybody else has joined the webinar. Somebody has joined the webinar.
Good.
Kathy. Hey, Kathy, chat is up. Can you just confirm that you'd like me to bring you into the Hangout again this week? Do you think that will work, or do you want to just chat to us? Type here. Okay, and while she's doing that, I'll show you this. So blue is for standard sections.
Okay.
This is a standard section. Here's the add section button, this blue button, and full width is one of the choices.
Right.
So full width, and then under full width, you'll see that full width post or full width slider is one of the options.
Okay.
Other ones that will work are this full width header actually has a lot of nice options. If you're just going to have one image and it's not going to rotate, you might want to use this full width header because it has more options. If you're,
I can put text over the picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with it. You can make it take up the entire screen with the button at the bottom that people press to scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
You You can actually do an image overlay. So if you choose an image, you can overlay a color, like a semi-transparent color on top of that. I'll show you an example of the site where I'm doing that. Let's see if they... So this is using the full width header, and it has a video in the background, but there's this blue overlay on top of it.
Okay.
And then there's a scroll down button. They have all kinds of neat stuff going. So this is using that module. So yeah, I'd recommend that. However, if you think you might eventually, the full width slider module actually has a lot of the same options within the slides, although not all of them. So if you intended to eventually have it where the image would change every few seconds or whatever, if you wanted to make it a slider, then you might want to just start out with the slider. Put that full width header up. Test. And you can do up to 2 buttons. You can do a logo and a background image. The logo will sit on top of the background image. So I'm going to choose, okay, here's this. Oh, this is only 940 by 540, 960 by 540.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let's see if this version's different. This version's 1080 by 608. That's better.
Yeah, I think I resized maybe that other image. Some guy took that one evening with his iPhone, and we just sort of latched onto it, since right now we don't have a better image to use. So I'm still looking for the ideal image.
Yeah. And use something from our media library if you need to. I guess let me show you. So this is kind of that module. And then if you wanted to,
I like that.
Do the overlay color. The overlay color will actually, it will hide some of the imperfections.
Okay.
In your video. So there's an example of what that might be like. And
so the trend is to have just one fixed image on your homepage.
It is.
Because the rotating pictures in other pages?
So the science says that rotating pictures just create confusion in the user.
Okay.
If you want to if you want a visitor to feel one specific way about your church when they get there, when they visit your site, and you have one strong image that conveys that, that's good. But if the image changes 3 seconds later, they may not lock into the image that you're trying to portray to them.
Okay.
That's kind of the psychology behind it. So a lot of people have went away from it, especially for this kind of a site. Obviously, if you have like a news site where you have a lot of stories and stuff, that's different. Anyway.
I haven't tried any of that yet, but I was thinking about where I have a child and youth program slide. I'm using 2 different images, I think, from your media library. And I was thinking I might play around with rotating those 2 images. But I don't know whether that may just detract from things.
Okay, so let's see how Kathy's doing. Oh, Kathy, can you not hear me yet? My Chrome is like that. Hey,
Oh,
my computer, my brand new computer completely crashed.
mm,
I installed a new driver on it, a new video driver on it earlier today. It's just not, it's not playing well with Chrome. Okay, Kathy, you can hear me. All right. So Kathy, do you want me to bring you into the video? Into the Hangout? I should also mention that I paid more than $2,000 for this laptop.
my goodness.
It should work. There's always some kinks to work out. Has a weird the camera for it's on the bottom of the screen because the bezel is so thin around the screen. It's nice, but Kathy, are you still there? All right. Well, so nothing I did on your site got saved. That's
Okay.
okay. I kind of showed you how to do all that,
All right.
so you can check it out. And I think if you do fix that front image, then I think your site is still going to be like 100% better than most church websites that are out there.
Okay. That's encouraging. I see Kathy's note that she can hear and see you now.
Yeah, but she's not. Do you want me to pull you into the Hangout, Kathy? Or do you just want to chat? Do you want to ask your question over chat? If you do, just ask the question. And we'll be patient. Do you have another question, Henry? You were talking about wanting to do something on your youth group page.
Well, I can play around with that. I guess the thing I would like to ask you is, what is required to get this donate feature functional?
Yeah. So do you have a PayPal account?
I'm in the process of getting someone to set it up, but I don't have it right now.
Okay, let me share my screen again, which may be what crashed. Crashed this the last time. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, now you can see your dashboard right here.
Right.
Okay. So first of all, you need to launch Aboundant Premium, which is going to add features. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, this button right here is the one.
Going to do that for us.
No,
No,
I paid for it. Normally you would get a purchase Aboundant Premium button here. It's already been purchased, so, but it still needs to be set up. I'm going to do it for you because I want to see what happens.
okay.
Okay. Because we don't get a lot of opportunities to test it. So in a real life situation. So let's see what happens. Now, it kind of worked. It gave you one thing on your menu that you didn't want, but then it also gave you a giving page and an events page.
Okay.
Now, you don't want to use the events calendar, so we'll just take that off the menu.
Good.
And I'll figure out what that no title page is all about. Actually, let me take a screenshot of that so I can share it with our developer. Okay, so here's your main menu. I think it's, I don't know. Okay, remove events. Save menu. Now you just see giving. And you can move this, you can move it up into this menu if you want.
Okay.
Page not found. I think it was supposed to be that other page. I'm so glad we're doing this. This, I think, is supposed to be the giving page. Let's put it back on the menu.
Did you see Kathy's question?
No, I didn't. But thank you for letting me know. If I can hang out again. Oh, you need to find out if you have multiple logins now that you have more than Connie now working on. So you want to see if you successfully created your extra logins, Kathy? Or you want to learn how to make them, one of those two? Okay, well, we'll do that as soon as I fix this. Okay, it's exactly what I thought. It made this, it failed to call this page the right thing. So I'm going to fix it. Okay, so this is what you have. So this is kind of set up right out of the gate. You can change these suggested amounts.
Okay.
You know, they'll be able to have it be recurring right out of the gate. If they want it to be a tribute, an employer match, a donor information, there's also a place where they can add, where you can add different funds that you want them to donate to so that they can specify.
Okay.
You guys don't see this. I made this go away. Okay, funds. So you can add new funds and just call them whatever you want. So 2016 mission trip, or you know, capital campaign fund, or whatever. And then they'll see those options so that they can designate the fund. Okay, so settings. So it's pretty simple. You just need your PayPal email address.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it? That's simple.
Yep.
Okay, so you're under...
I'm in settings under donations.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually I'm looking to upgrade this giving feature. This is a pretty nice system, but I've been looking to upgrade it. So you may actually be getting a better system down the line. We'll see. But this pretty much does what we want it to for everybody. So that's how donate works. Okay, let me answer Kathy's question.
Okay.
And Kathy was in and out last time too, so I feel bad she hasn't gotten a lot of attention.
I will just listen.
Great. Oh, okay. So Kathy needs to know how to add another user. Okay. Kathy, can you remind me of your site? I'm embarrassed that I can't remember it from last week. I guess I should keep one desert mission site up. I have coffee. A whole thermos of coffee. Right here. What's your site address, Kathy? I'll look it up while we'll see who can get there first. You typing it to me or typing it to you. It doesn't matter terribly too much. Okay, you win. Only because I can't search by name, which is annoying. Okay. That. Share my screen again. Okay, so Kathy, there's a couple different ways you can add a new user. You can just about add a new anything under this new button that's up here. You'll see that user is one of the options. And you can get the same option on your dashboard. Under users, add new. You can also see your existing users here by clicking on users or all users. Those are the same link. And so right now you still just have you. And then even here you see the add new again. Why did I do that? Okay. That's not for you. That's something else. Okay, so I hit add new. And then, Kathy, this is what you see. There's a place to add existing users to this site. You'll never use that. That's for other people that have different sites on the network, because we're just one big happy network of sites. What you'll do is down here, this add new user. Let me blow this up so you can see it better. You choose a username for them. Sometimes this is seen on the front end. I just usually use the first name of the person. And then if you ever have another person with the same first name, then you can just add their initial or whatever. Put in the email address. It doesn't have to be their like a work official email address. If it's more convenient to them for them to get notifications through their personal email, you can use that. And then you want to set the role. If you want them to have full access to the site, you'll make them an administrator. If you want them to be able to edit pages and make new posts, but not change some of the site settings, then you'll make them an editor. Authors are allowed to make new posts and pages, but aren't allowed to edit others. Contributors are allowed to submit posts and pages, but not to publish them. So they'll be held for approval, essentially. And then there's no real use for subscribers on our network at the moment because we don't use commenting. But if we ever did add comments to your site, then that's how some people would subscribe so that they would have access to comment. Okay. You can skip this confirmation email, but I wouldn't do it because basically that's what sends them a link which they can then use to get their password and to set it to something new if they would like and to confirm themselves as a user. And then you just hit add new user and then you'll have that new person. And you can add as many people as you want. I would make each person a new user. That way, if they leave the church or whatever, you can just delete their account or turn them down to subscriber or something along those lines. Did that answer your questions, Kathy? And while she's answering, Henry, did you have another question?
I don't think so right now.
Okay. All right, Kathy, what's your next question? I will drink coffee while you think of it. There's another good reason to use the person's personal email. We're thinking about adding the ability to log in using Facebook. And the plugin that we're going to use automatically associates with people the email that's attached to people's Facebook account. It'll associate the user account to that Facebook person, which is nice. If it's different, then they have to do it manually after the fact. But that's another good thing. Pretty sure we're going to do that. I have to test it some more. Kathy, this address came out a little light. There's a trick to getting at this content. We didn't purposefully hide it away, but it's its own page. And you have to find it in your pages under dashboard, and it's just called footer. And so if you're looking at your pages, your list of pages, you'll see one called footer, and that's it. You can still use the page builder with it, but it does this interesting thing where it doesn't know the custom settings you've set for the footer, and so it just gives you the defaults. So it's not going to look the same. So it's probably just better just to edit it on the back end. And here's that place. And the text color is set to light. I'm just going to change it to dark. But if you wanted to make other changes to your footer, you would just, here's all your footer elements right on this page called footer. Now you come down here and see that it's dark. All right, let's see. Okay, Kathy, did you have another question? If not, I'll keep on finding things to fix on your site. There's not too much to complain about. I don't have a great solution for making the cross and flame smaller on this view where you have the sidebar. I do kind of feel like it's kind of big, although it does kind of align with your banner, so that's nice. You could, this won't work the way that, let's see what options we do have available to us.
Will,
Yeah.
you might mention to Kathy that this is what we did. We worked with Nashville Communications,
Oh, yeah.
and they created a logo for us and just sent us the file.
Yeah, Kathy. All of us United Methodists don't realize that UMCOM will make our logo graphics for free as long as you use the brand harmony, the standard branding practices. So yeah, you can contact UMCOM and they'll make you a logo for free. And then you can use that image file as your logo. I was wondering, Henry, because yours actually looked like it was following all of their brand principles.
Right.
Pretty closely. I was wondering if you came up with that or if they came up with it.
No, we'll give them credit. We actually got a grant to do some digital advertising, and so as a part of that, they wanted our logo to be like their branding, so that's how it all came about.
Okay. Yeah, they're using that to enforce it.
Right.
Okay, I actually did find a way to make your logo a little smaller. Let's see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but look what it did. It also limited the size of the name too. But imagine if your name was up here, Christ UMC, that beside the cross and flame, that would look pretty good. Undo the thing I just did. I think it was at 54. Oh, it's weird that that's still breaking like that. Let's see what happens. Huh. Wasn't doing that before, was it?
I think it was.
Oh, was it breaking like that?
You talking about the UMC on the second line?
Yeah.
I think it was that way. I'm not positive, though.
Kathy, when we get off this call, I'm going to look at that and see if I can fix it for you. Okay?
Can Kathy hear me, or do I need to chat to answer?
She hears you.
She
does. Yeah.
So Kathy, no, we did not pay Nashville for the logo.
So Kathy, you can't. Kathy, are you using this address to get to your site? See this up here? I mean, this should work. Here, so I'm going to use a private window. So I'm basically opening it just like you would open it, with no caching. And I put the site in and it comes right up. So on Chrome, there's a trick you can use to bypass the cache that's saved. You can hit, and by the way, new people that are coming to your site will not have this issue. It's just people that have previously visited it before the changes were made. So the trick is if you hold Shift 5, it'll actually load your page without any cache. And so if you're making a change and you're not seeing it, or you're getting some kind of warning, that's something that you can try. I'll visit your site in Edge, which I've never done before. And it thinks it's secure, 100% secure. So it's a little painful because some people started working on their site and then we made the change and then they had all this cached information on their computers. And that was causing a lot of issues with them being able to get in. As a longtime web designer, I can tell you that there's no way around that. It's just painful that way. You still can't bring it up on Chrome. I wish you could show me your screen. You could come into the Hangout and show me your screen, and then I can see what's happening.
Will, did you get the word from support group that my problem with the slider not appearing cleared up once I cleared my cache?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too, because we put in a fix. That's actually just a temporary fix until Divi fixes the main issue with it. But yeah, no, that's great. And thanks for mentioning that in the forums. Yeah, Kathy, if you have any questions, you can use the Facebook group. I think you're a part of it. Support group. That this won't. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted theme customizer. No. Yeah, if I let it be full size, then it lets your text be full size. So it must have been closer up to here. All right, let's stay. All right, now it's back to where it was before. But yeah, if you have UMCOM issue you a logo, it'll just take up this little bit of space up here. And that'll be nicer. All right, there's time for one last question if you can get it in, Kathy. I would try clearing your cache again and your cookies. It should definitely work on Chrome. If it isn't still working on Chrome, let us know. I'll try this Shift F5 trick and then see if that changes anything in Chrome. Well, Henry, I hope you've had fun. You've done a good job with your website.
Well, thank you. It has, every time I get on, I learn something else. So that's good.
Yeah. It's its own type of literacy. It's just a different type of mission. It's just a different type of ministry work that you have to learn how to do.
Yes, right.
But no, I think it's come a long way. And you have the tools to build on what you've done already, which is great.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Helpful. Sweet. Okay. Well, we'll call it for today then. Come back next week if you have any questions. As usual, I'll be around, or somebody else. Every once in a while, you guys might get Tim Gossett, who Kathy also knows. Kathy and I used to work together, Henry.
Oh, okay.
So we know we're both in the Iowa Annual Conference. so we know each other.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.